like the Garud, which swoops with speed and accuracy on the serpents in the grass, so shall we on our enemies. India and Nepal. Two countries with a unique relationship that extends into cultural, social and ethnic similarities. Two countries that encourage active people-to-people participation and exchange across the border. Two countries that have firm bonds of friendship thanks to the 1950 Indo Nepal Friendship Treaty. It is precisely because of this uniqueness of the relationship that manning the Indo Nepal border has become a crucial task. It needed a force that plays the role of a friend in times of crisis, an iron fist that comes down heavily on crimes and criminals, an ever-vigilant hawk that secures the borders from people on the wrong side of the law. A definition that perfectly fits this central police force in the country, the Sashastra Seema Bal, or the SSB. Mandated to guard the Indo-Nepal border, which is porous by design, is the most significant of the SSB's duties. These stretches are usually the haven for a host of illegal activities like arms smuggling, human trafficking and drug peddling. The Sashastra Seema Bal consists of a highly alert group of personnel who maintain strict vigilance and surveillance over the entire area and ensure that the territory of the country is not breached in any manner. Manning these borders is anything but an ordinary task. The brave men of the SSB encounter adversaries in every form while securing these borders. From people stealthily smuggling arms and drugs to facing the wrath of nature's fury. From preventing the border from being encroached upon to rescuing victims savaged by fires and other disasters, the SSB troops are constantly in the line of fire. The patrolling happens throughout the day and night on foot and on vehicles. The patrolling area spans 1,751 kilometers of hostile terrain, mostly covered with thick snow and dense forests, which the enemy usually uses to sneak into the country. But the SSB Jawans on constant patrol are an effective deterrent to such anti-national elements. All along the Indo-Nepal border, the conditions are at best unfriendly and hostile. But for the brave men of the Sashastra Seema Bal, it is just another day at work. The chilly, icy wind that blows across the snowscape is hardly a deterrent for the men who guard the borders of the nation. The going is never easy. But, as the adage goes, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. The undying love of these people towards the country was never in doubt. But today, their faith has been firmed up. Their confidence has been bolstered. Their motivation has been raised to new levels. And their lives have taken a turn for the better. Not very long ago in history, this was not the case. The population at the borders were a disillusioned and confused lot. an easy prey for anti-national sentiments and elements that worked overtime to exploit these feelings, to sow the seeds of disturbances in these areas. That time was the aftermath of the Chinese aggression in 1962. The immediate challenge was felt at the borders.
सुरक्षित गर्न चाहन्छौं र हामी के हो भारतवासी एक हौं त्यसकारणले गर्दा हामी कन्दामा कन्दा मिलाएर हामी के गर्छौं
The Sashastra Seema Bal, earlier known as the Special Service Bureau, was formed in 1963 precisely to combat the aftermath of foreign invasion along the northern and the northeastern border, to inculcate a sense of security and confidence in the border population, and to help integrate them into the national mainstream. It was a tough task, but the extraordinary vision of the SSB was designed to take this challenge head-on. From day one, the SSB troops showed exemplary vision and courage in bringing these areas back to normal. The troops played multifarious roles of a guardian, friend and companion, and nursed the bruised psyche back to health. Since a long time now, peace and tranquility has returned to the Sino-Indian border. The group of ministers on national security system has recommended that SSB may be deployed on the Indo Nepal border. Therefore, since June 2001, SSB has taken up the responsibility of guarding this border.
यह जो निर्णय किया गया है कि सशस्त्र सीमा बल इसके बाद बॉर्डर गार्डिंग एजेंसी का काम करेगा भारत नेपाल के सीमा पर, उसका उद्देश्य यह है कि जहां एक ओर सीमा की सुरक्षा बनी रहे, सीमा पर अपराध रोके जाएं, तस्करी का अपराध हो, आतंकवादियों की घुसपैठ का अपराध हो या कोई और अपराध हो, जहां यह कार्य हो वहां भारत और नेपाल के जो परंपरागत सौहार्दपूर्ण मैत्रीपूर्ण संबंध हैं उनको उन पर तनिक भर भी आंच ना आए और वे वैसे के वैसे ज्यों के त्यों बने रहे। मैं मानता हूं कि यह एक बहुत बड़ी जवाबदारी है, लेकिन एसएसबी का ट्रेनिंग जिस प्रकार से हुआ है, सशस्त्र सीमा बल जिस प्रकार के संस्कारों से इतने सालों तक आगे बढ़ा है, जिस प्रकार की राष्ट्रीयता की भावना, राष्ट्रहित की भावना उनके मन में बनी हुई है, यह कार्य वे कर सकेंगे।
In its existence of nearly 4 decades, the Sashastra Seema Bal, or the SSB, has today grown into a strong, full-fledged force of over 31,000 men. Headquartered at Delhi, the force today has its presence in the states of Uttaranchal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Sikkim and West Bengal, manning sensitive borders. Their role consists of promoting a sense of security among the people of the border area, preventing trans-border crimes and other illegal activities, and checking the unauthorized entry or exits from the territory of India. The long, porous border is usually a place where the men on the wrong side of the law take a chance with their unlawful activities. It is here that the role of the Sashastra Seema Bal becomes doubly tough in ensuring that such activities are nipped in the bud and the offenders brought to book. Armed with such a strong unit and a powerful intelligence network, the SSB has been able to thwart every evil design and every criminal activity. The force boasts of one of the most modern and effective telecommunication networks, which helps in tracking every criminal activity in these borders. Communication between anti-national elements is regularly intercepted by the force, resulting in swift and prompt action. As soon as these messages are intercepted, the force swings into action. In this case, the enemy has to be trapped from progressing further. and prevent it from retreating to his hideout. A perfect ambush is laid in virtually no time. And the smugglers, caught unawares, are arrested and taken into custody. A huge cache of arms and ammunition is recovered, which, if not detected on time, would have wreaked havoc in the country. It is this swift-acting feature of the force that has made them a huge factor in helping the local police to keep crime and criminals down at all times. At such border outposts, where hundreds of men, women and vehicles pass by, maintaining unwavering vigil is an onerous task. But the diligent men of the SSB make sure that each of these is thoroughly checked before they are allowed to pass through. Many of these checks assume a lot of significance. Zeroing down on a troublemaker when there is free, virtually unhindered movement across the border can be quite a challenge. But the spirited men of the SSB are more than a match to that challenge. Backed by a powerful and carefully developed network of informers who forewarn these troops on any signs of trouble.
Papa 2, Papa 1. Police station, this is Papa 2. 77229.
The challenge becomes significant considering the fact that the people who indulge in criminal activities usually are the most innocent looking and unsuspicious in their appearance and behavior. Every untoward activity is reported, tracked down and brought to book immediately. It is a tribute to the timeliness, effectiveness and alertness of the force that breakthroughs like these have become more and more frequent, effectively breaking the back of illegal cross-border trafficking. At night, the SSB takes on an even more vital task: night patrolling. As most of the illegal activities happen under the cover of darkness, the alert force maintains a strict vigil on any attempt to infiltrate the country's territories. Tough on one hand and friendly on the other, the force ensures that every citizen lives with a smiling face. The SSB Training Center in Solonibari in Assam is among the 6 premier training centers that the force offers, where the young raw force personnel are transformed into fighting-fit, toughened troops through an exacting regimen that the troops are put through. These include strengthening exercises, fitness exercises, exercises that build concentration and stamina. Obstacle courses, simulating real-life obstacles, lend a practical approach to training. Since the missions that these personnel undertake are usually very dangerous, the training that they undergo is of a highly focused nature. Guarding these borders demands quick reflexes and a high level of staying power. To this end, the troops are trained in various martial arts. Dangerous and interesting though they seem, these exercises ensure that these troops are not found wanting in the face of any challenge on the ground. The troops are also trained on the most modernized equipment called Firearms Training Simulator or FATS, which provides a simulated environment of gunfire exchange for the troops to practice on. In fact, the SSB troops are known as specialists in survival tactics. A day at work for the SSB troops includes endless manning and combing deep jungles and forests, which the subversives usually use to sneak into the territory. Life can be tough during these operations, as these troops spend long nights on vigil. At times like these, the troops learn to survive on whatever little forest produce is available to them. Masters of survival tactics, these troops make weapons out of the forest wood. Cook and eat whatever animal can be hunted down for a meal, and sleep on a thatched floor atop trees in these jungles. The training regimen of the force is exacting and challenging. It makes the troops game for any challenge thrown at them in the line of duty. When disaster strikes, and it is a race against time, it is the Sashastra Seema Bal to the rescue. When nature's fury takes its toll on innocent border people, it is the reassuring face of the SSB forces that rushes to help. In times like these, the firefighting team of SSB comes to the fore. The troops play the role of a rescuer, a protector, and a guardian. Not only do they fight the raging fires to salvage all that they can for these people, they also ensure that victims get timely medical aid, and they offer support to help them recover from the traumatic incident. In times like earthquakes and landslides, which are commonplace here, the Sashastra Seema Bal dons the mantle of a compassionate savior, carrying the wounded to the hospital and tending to the injured. Carrying out humanitarian activities has enabled the Sashastra Seema Bal to rightfully earn their title of being the People's Force. The SSB has adopted several villages near the border area. Periodically, the SSB conducts free medical camps in these remote areas. The doctors of the force closely monitor the health of the people, followed up with personalized care and attention. They make sure that each and every person here is benefited by these medical camps. Along with the people, the livestock also gets complete medical attention from the veterinary doctors of the SSB. The livestock, more than 4 lakh in numbers, whose good health and nourishment is paramount to the livelihood of these border people, are periodically checked and administered required medicines and treatment as and when necessary so that they are in the best state of health. The SSB also runs de-addiction camps for the victims of drug abuse. This makes sure that the young men, even after having undergone the harrowing experience of being drug addicts, can return to the former normal lives and partake in nation building under the inspiring guidance of the SSB. The interesting feature of these camps is that the youth from Nepal cross over to the Indian side and participate in the de-addiction camps, making the de-addiction efforts more meaningful and relevant. Vigilance at the best of times calls for a high degree of alertness. However, herein lies the challenge as well as an opportunity. Challenge because there is every scope that can be used by miscreants to smuggle unwanted elements into and out of the country. Opportunity because by letting the human traffic ply without much hindrance, the border people on either side have an opportunity to mingle, exchange and then return to their respective countries, and are thereby able to forge bonds of friendship and mutual trust.
हम लोग नेपाल आते जाते रहते हैं और वहाँ पर हमारे शादी ब्याह ऐसे कार्यक्रम होते हैं तो हम लोग इंडिया नेपाल में ना अटेंड करते हैं। एसएसब वाले सभी के साथ बहुत ही अच्छे ढंग से व्यवहारिकता करते हैं और इससे पब्लिक को कोई परेशानी नहीं होती है।
एसएसपी के आने से बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ, शराबी लोग कम हो गए और माओवादी कम हो गए, नेपाल के बहुत कुछ कम हो गया।
The key to the success of the SSB in this region has been that they have married the challenge and the opportunity so well that it provides a secured and protected environment for the people to live in.
हम सब हिंदुस्तानी हैं और जो भी यहाँ हमारे सिक्किम में बॉर्डर में जितने भी सिपाही हैं हमें उनका मदद करना है। जो बाहर से दुश्मन आएंगे उस दुश्मन का मुकाबला करना है और अपने बॉर्डर को बचाना है। अपने देश में देशद्रोहियों को घुसने नहीं देंगे, उनसे डटकर मुकाबला करेंगे। अपने देश के सरहदों में आहनी दीवार बनकर खड़े हो जाएंगे। किसी भी दुश्मन को अपने देश
This is an example of active people participation in containing the subversive intentions of ISI agencies or Maoist rebels, whose sole aim is to shake the foundations of democracy in the country. People from the border areas, upon the knowledge of something untoward happening, make an effort to forewarn these forces. Efforts like these go a long way in ensuring that such subversive intentions don't succeed. The SSB comes down hard on the subversives, snuffing out their extremist plans and breaking the back of the movement. Impressed with the performance of the force at the Indo Nepal border, the NHA has also designated Sashastra Seema Bal as the border guarding force for the Indo Bhutan border. The remarkable and inspiring performance of the SSB has captured the imagination of the nation. In a short span of time, which also saw them being a part of the UN peacekeeping missions, the force has been able to provide comprehensive security to the nation, in which they have apprehended more than 300